What's the deal, family? Welcome to another episode of Sips of Success. This is episode number 2. I am Cameron, and this is my beautiful wife,
Erin.
How are you doing today?
Good. Cheers.
Today we are
sipping
cheersing
on?
with what we call a sidecar. It is our one of our usual go-tos. Erin loves the sugar rim. I typically do not drink these with the sugar rim.
Just I like it because it offsets the lemon.
It has a balance of sweet and strong.
What's in it?
So what's in this for those who are listening is cognac, orange liqueur, lemon juice, and simple syrup. So
it's like a lemon drop with dark liquor.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. No,
it's so
literally
good.
The same.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So good.
Cheers to episode number 2.
Cheers,
I am so
babe.
excited that this is going great and well.
Yeah, we've gotten so much positive feedback.
We have.
On all the platforms, which is nice.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Encouraging and
keep
all
going.
Those good things. So with that being said, first things first.
We have a this or that. So since this episode is kind of centered around success, this or that, would you rather have $10 million, but no family and friends? Or would you rather have a great family, great friends, and make $100,000 a year?
Second option.
That was fast.
It's
Why?
Easy. Well, first of all, I've never had $10 million. But also, even if I did, and I do hope to have that one day, but even if I did or didn't, I still choose my family over anything monetary.
Yeah.
So that's why it's easy and quick for me to answer something like that. I think even when you don't may or may not have a good family, or whatever defines a good family, but for me, like, I consider my family a good one. I think people who even don't have huge or a family around them, they desire that, and they in some way go looking for that. So even if it comes in the fashion of friends that you make as your family, I think that we all as humans like look for something like that. So $10 million without anybody is like,
yeah.
What's the point of having that?
You'll yearn for that community.
Yeah.
Because after a while, when something becomes your lifestyle, I feel like it's just your lifestyle.
Yeah, so.
It's not as big of a deal anymore. I agree. I would definitely pick the making $100,000 a year with a great family and great friends. Because, like you said, community is important. Plus, I feel like with having great people around you and making around $100,000 a year, like, you can live a decent
life. Yeah.
I mean, with inflation right now, it's a
kind
little
of crazy.
bit tough.
$100,000 right now is not the same as 10
years
years ago, but still, you can still live a decent life. So
yeah, so I would be okay with that as long as I could go to the beach like once a year. I'm good.
Loves the beach.
Okay, so what are we talking about today?
Well, because we were talking a little bit about money, and typically people equate money to success, I just want to know, what is your definition of success?
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, before you go, for those who are listening and even here on YouTube, let us know, what would you do? Like, this or that?
Which one would you pick?
Would you do the 100,000, or would you do... 100,000 with family, or would you just do 10 million and lonely?
Some people
basically
be like, bump my family.
Yeah, and
I'll take the 10 million and buy some friends.
And to be clear, the $10 million is one lump sum of $10 million.
Yeah.
So, what would you do?
Yeah.
And then on Spotify, if you're listening on Spotify, there will be a poll. So yeah, let us know.
Yeah. Okay, so what would I define as success? Well, for one, I think having a joyful life, like a life that I enjoy living, is always going to be a top priority. And so whatever that looks like, whether that's me having a great impact, like doing things that I feel mean something, like have meaning to them, having health and wellness is important, because honestly, without that, you can't do nothing. So just being a healthy person.
Yeah.
And then also having financial freedom to be able to do the things that I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And experience new experiences with the people I love, and just not feel weighed down by anything, whether that's relationships, money, whatever the case may be. I feel like success to me is being able to live and enjoy every day.
Yeah, the life that you're building.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, mine starts with healthy relationships. One being, again, with the non-negotiable for the both of us, a relationship with God. So I think that's what it is. And then secondly would be my marriage, and my marriage is second to none or to no one. So there's that. And then last, well, I would say like friendships and even business relationships, but even with friendships, like growing and finding those who become family. So I think the base of all of this is still family oriented and related. So yeah, just finding those relationships, making every last one of them healthy, no matter what area they fall in.
Yeah.
And then next would be, as you said, health, because if we broke down and all that,
Yeah, what good is
anything?
Yeah.
So you got that, and then lastly is to be able to achieve my goals in and outside of business. So again, it goes back to achieving a life that we want to attain for not just ourselves but for our families, and then also growing a business that can take us to wherever we want to go.
Yeah. So I will also say success is legacy and being able to leave something behind.
Yeah.
And I feel like generational wealth is very buzzy right now, and it almost always pertains to money.
Just the money part.
But I strongly believe that my granddad, even though he wasn't super wealthy, like both of my grandparents, they were married for like 50 something, maybe 60 years before my grandmother passed. But like, I believe they had 14 kids, by the way. My mom is number 11. They are all like from my two grandparents who were married for so long, super in love with each other. And their 14 children, 12 now living, are like great. Like, they're successful, thriving people. And I think that looking at what my grandparents gave them showed me that success doesn't look one way for everybody.
Yeah,
it's like you can be successful and leave the legacy of having kids who, you know, have great families and, you know, whatever, make great people in society. To me, that's just as valuable.
Yeah, I agree for sure.
You know?
Yeah,
so
I agree. Even with my grandparents, both are still living on my mom's side, and then one living on my dad's mom is still living. But even from my granddad, like what he did for his family, he has half the amount of kids though that Aaron's grandparents have. Cut that in half. You know, there's that. Actually, two less than half. Yeah, there was 14.
Yeah.
Oh no, one less. So 6. He has 6. It's a total of 6. So,
yeah.
But yeah, cut it in half. But what he did too, we always joke about, because Aaron's grandparents' house for 14 kids
tiny
was this small, right?
Tiny. We're like, they should have switched houses.
Yeah, our grandparents should have definitely switched houses. Yeah. But even like, I'm like, my granddad is like one of my biggest inspirations, and things I've learned and things I've seen him do, just as a child. He was an entrepreneur. He sent his all his kids through college or got them started in their lives, and I wouldn't say he was like extremely like wealthy of what we consider wealth when it comes to finances, but he did a lot of the things that still some people don't do today.
He was balling.
He was decent, yeah, for sure.
A little bit.
He was decent. But that's something that even now, like, I just want to kind of at least be half the guy that he was. Not just from a family thing, because like my granddad was an influencer before influences. Like my granddad is a historian of his entire family. I mean, from the time all of his grandchildren were born, his kids, he has footage,
he's so cute.
He has everyone's diplomas. He has pictures. He has, I mean, everything.
He has a whole room of memorabilia. And every single holiday, he's showing up with a camcorder like this, getting every detail of every holiday, every birthday, like. Yeah.
Like whatever, he has that camcorder. I'm talking about the classic camcorder too. He doesn't have anything of this new technology like his go-to with the cassette tape in there.
It's so cute.
But check this out. He taught himself how to convert this stuff to DVD. Like,
look at him.
Hey,
doing a dog.
Hey, you know, like I said, he was him before me and him was a thing.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely one of my biggest inspirations. But our grandparents both having
left really great, or leaving, because yours are still living, but like really great legacies just through their family.
Yeah, through their families. And you know, being married for so long, like it's, to us it sounds crazy. To even live so long sounds like wow, you know.
I know.
Like 90s, like
woo, Lord.
But yeah, you know, so definitely a big inspiration. Where do you say, in terms of marriage, where do you say before we got married and even now, what were we aligned on that allowed us to enter the space and thought of even getting married?
Ooh, I feel like we've always been pretty aligned.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, first of all, the chemistry was just crazy when we met.
It was so crazy.
Well, not when we first met, but when we first went on our date.
Well, yeah. Well, first met,
because when we first met, it was kind of in passing. Honestly.
It was a high and by.
It was just
honestly.
a really quick exchange.
It was enough for me to remember who she was, though. Except for I didn't remember her name.
Yeah, he still remembers what I was wearing too, which is funny. Yeah. I don't even remember what I was wearing. Anyway,
she had on jeans, some light wash jeans, and a white top.
But yeah. So I would say we were really aligned with family because y'all. When we first started talking, Cameron, his family used to have like Sunday dinners every Sunday, which I thought was so sweet until it started impeding on our relationship. And I would be like, can you come, like, let's go do something on Sunday, or can you come over? And he'd be like, oh no, I got family dinner. And I'm like, y'all literally see each other every Sunday. Like, you can't miss a Sunday?
Nah.
But so when we first started dating, I was like, I really liked that about you. Although it did kind of like, you know, it was like a bittersweet type of thing because I'm like, I love that he loves his family so much. And that was something that has always been very important to me. And I personally think that's something that has kind of pulled us back together, is just how much we love our family. And at one point when we were about to break up, or a few times when I was just like,
a few times we were about to break up?
No, but just a few times like, where I was just like, no, like just a few times where I was like, is he the right one for me? Like, is this gonna get to where I want it to, or like where I think it could be? And
y'all want the tea on the breakup story? Like,
yeah,
she, yeah,
I almost left.
We were like this close.
Yeah, but I feel like in those moments when I did eventually meet your family, I was like, I get it. Like, I get why you always want to be around them. And also, I knew that because you came from good stock, that you can't be a bad person coming from your family. Like, your family, his family is like the quintessential Black family where, like, Christmas, they have like the tree and we sit around and we exchange gifts. And like, it's just, and both of our families are very family oriented.
Even both of our parents are like, I mean, both of our families are now like
our families
very
now
familiar.
Like love each other, which is nice, and it's hard to find that, honestly.
But we were intentional about both of us individually before even dating that's what we wanted when we did find our person.
Exactly.
And that's why, you know, that's why we do what we do now. But also we had the intention to keep making it better, keep intertwining our families and things of that nature.
Yeah, exactly. So family for sure was one of the first things that I knew we locked in on, because we love our family so much individually that I wanted to be with somebody who valued family in the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. I say mine, for guys, you know, it's typically like a money thing. You saved your money really well from pretty much the time I've known you. Except for when you like try to get me to spend my money, so that kind of threw me for a loop.
I'll be like, spend your money.
Yeah, she want to go on like these little dates. I'm like, nah, we straight. But really, I saved 85% of my every like check that I got, and I had a budget for leisure stuff.
Yeah,
dating fell under leisure,
and I was on a $30,000 salary.
I'm saying even before that.
Even before that, but like I was on a $30,000 salary and saved over $10,000. So it was just
I saved $85,000 before we got married.
Yeah. So we both really have like a similar money mindset. Not just to hoard and save, but at that time in our lives, that was important.
I mean, I didn't grow up.
We needed to like have money to
But also
progress
too,
in
when you
life.
don't grow up, for me, not growing up like wealthy or what I would consider comfortable, it's also why I saved the way that I did.
Yeah.
And you know, we're here now, but you know, you got sugar on your nose.
I do.
Look
Dang.
at you, Rudolph with a white nose.
That ain't
No,
Rudolph.
but I said Rudolph.
A white nose is not good.
Oh, that sounds terrible. Anyway.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah,
Okay,
you
so
know,
finances is how you felt
yeah,
like you
I
were in
think
sync.
that I think that I knew that you would agree with where I wanted us to go.
Mm-hmm.
And even now, we could definitely be a little bit more better at, it looks different now, but you know, we can get back to that in a little bit. It just, we have to understand or figure out what that looks like now for us.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, what is one thing that we could do or have that would give us, or, you know, allow us one step closer to the life that we look at or desire to be as a success?
Yeah. I would say discipline. And just to like share a little something, we go around all the time. We just did it before we started recording this. We go around and look at big houses, and
Yeah.
we will go to dealerships and look at nice cars. And we will consider ourselves at this stage in our lives to be successful. Like, we enjoy our life. We
From
are able to,
from a financial standpoint, we're good. Like
yeah,
we
and
are.
even from like a family like just the overall life standpoint, I feel
Yeah.
like we're good. We are at a place though now where we're like, there's more for us.
Yeah.
There is more for us to like just discover in life and about ourselves and have for our families and our legacy and our future and whatever. So we go around and we visualize and we look at these big old houses and we go on realtor.com and we like look at the price and we're like,
This would, instead of saying we can't, we just
yeah.
like, all right, we gotta.
we're like, okay, how are we gonna make this happen?
Yeah.
And I think that it's really healthy for us to do that because it allows us to know that we are looking toward the same things, and not just in a materialistic way, but in a like we always
What's
put
our
our
main
family
reason to-
first. Like
yeah,
we're
like-
like, okay, we want to host holidays and we
Yeah.
want to be the go-to house for all the things. Like especially when we have kids,
Yeah.
we want both of our sides to be able to come and just have a good time, and we
Yeah.
want to have the space to accommodate
Everybody.
And so, and plus, like when we have kids, I want our kids' friends to love coming over. Like I want our house to be like the house, you know. So that is like the life that we're like wanting to build.
Yeah.
And for me, when I think about, okay, what is the thing that's gonna get us to the next step? I think we just kind of have to get our discipline a little more intact because we know what we want and we know what it takes to get what we want, but sometimes we just kind of like it's a juggling act.
Yeah.
Like it's like when we're like really into our fitness, we
Yeah.
fall off in like
In another area
other
somewhere,
areas.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like we're seesawing with like health or content or business or this, but then it's never all consistently just working together in our
Right.
daily routines. So we got to get like our disciplined daily, weekly, whatever routines just for at least 30 days straight,
Yeah.
you know,
To
so we
get- to
can
catch-
know.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's not about changing everything all at once. It's more of getting a grip
Finding
on
our
one
rhythm.
thing and then adding to it.
Yeah, finding a rhythm. And for the last 2 years, we've been like trying to figure out what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we're definitely close. We're like right here. We're so close to like finding out what is our rhythm, what is our ideal routine. And I think we're right there.
I think so.
We've had too many conversations. I do feel like after each one or each time we've have a meeting,
we get a little bit
we get a
more.
little closer. So it's
Yeah.
just like, all right, great. We're all right. We're a step here.
Right.
Next.
It's like 1,000 steps though.
Yeah.
We're on like step 80.
It's been so long.
Oh my god.
But that's also a testament to like things don't happen overnight. Like you
Yeah.
have to also be able to pay attention to what are you doing. None of us are doing everything right. Like it does take time to look back and say, okay, where can we get better at? Where can you get better at? So that we can move forward.
So what do you think is something we could be better at so we can get to the next step or the next phase?
I wouldn't say be better at, but having. And for me, it would be having a church home, which recently, and it took us almost into our third year of marriage, where I'm pretty sure we found our new church home.
Yeah.
I didn't, when we got married, we didn't continue to my church just because, I don't know, I feel like, nothing against them. It's just, I didn't feel like that was the place for me and my wife and our marriage and stuff like that. And then Erin has definitely had her fair share of experiences with church overall. Put us through the ringer. Yeah, her family ain't had too many great experiences. But so just finding a church home that not only challenges us, but keeps us whole.
Yeah.
Making sure we're, keeping that at the top of our minds, and, so that our minds are always clear and things of that nature. Because we've done stuff on our own, Bible study with each other, this, that, or another, but we ain't pastors. We ain't, you do
want that leadership.
Yeah, we need that. Because again, also going back to like the routine thing, we can't do everything. So I can't sit here and pastor us and it's just woo.
It is a lot, juggling everything in life.
But yeah, we definitely think we found our church home. We love where we've been going for the past few months, and
so good.
Yeah,
like very practical messages and stuff. So, yeah, and I think even with me saying how we visualize things, I just want to share how you are the type of person who visualizes and you don't want to kind of take a plunge into something that you want because you have this idea of what.
I have a picture of what it looks like.
Yeah, you have this picture in your mind of what success looks like in terms of okay, I can pull the trigger on this thing once we're in this place in life. And I be trying to tell Cameron, sometimes things just don't look like that, don't look like how you think they're supposed to when it's time to take that next leap of faith. And we had a conversation with our friends, Rima and Ahmed, shout out to y'all. They're probably going to listen and just be like, oh my gosh. But we had a conversation with them, and Rima's husband, Ahmed, bought a 911, which is Cameron's favorite car. But it wasn't about the fact that they bought this car. It was more about the fact that
their message behind why they bought the car.
Yeah. Because it was like Rima was like, I don't care about the car. I don't really care about cars either. Since since being around you so much, I've grown to care more about cars.
This is not about the affordability of a car. Me and the rest of the guys in my family, this is a lifelong.
They love cars.
We all have our favorite car. The one thing in life that I have to have is my set of cars.
Yeah. So when we had this conversation with them, they were basically saying we didn't get the car because we like the car. We got the car because the car is gonna force us to believe in ourselves, basically, and to know that it might not look like what we thought it would look like us getting this car when we have this, but it is going to prove help us prove to ourselves that we're moving the needle forward. And a lot of times when it comes to defining success, we are constantly pushing the needle further and further out. You do all this work, you work so hard, you deserve it, and then to get the thing you want, though, for whatever reason, in our minds, we're conditioned to think that it needs to look or be a certain way.
It has to be more all the time.
Yeah, and so you're constantly never getting what you've worked for.
Yeah.
And it's not...
You keep missing a mark that you don't even realize you're missing because you're worried about what's...
It's really scarcity.
We don't even know what's going to come,
It's
honestly.
a scarcity mindset because it's if I buy the car, what if I then somehow lose the income?
But also, to that point, though... That's something we've also, from a mentality standpoint, instead of saying, okay, what am I going to give up to get something? We're what can we do to add this, not lose the idea behind anything. I feel for us to be successful is not to have that same old mindset that we kind of learn, right? To say, oh, dang, I either I can't get that, or if I'm gonna get this, I gotta let something else go.
And it's you have to grow. Until you prove to yourself that you can handle certain things, it's gonna be really hard for you to get to the next phase because your dreams get bigger once you take action.
Yeah.
If you never take action, then you're never gonna be open to what else is possible. We listened to this podcast and he was like, I used to, and it sounds like materialism, but it's not. He's like, I used to think Range Rover was like the best car in the world.
Yeah.
And then he was like, until I got one. And then I was like, wait, I want a Ferrari. And then when he got the Ferrari, or the Lamborghini or whatever, he was like, it opened me up to a network of people that helped me dream bigger, that became part of my network, that whatever. Like,
and stamped him as a multimillionaire.
Yeah. and so it's like, you can't keep, in addition to working hard, you have to also like understand that you deserve the success that you've worked for, and be able to like,
and also not
enjoy it,
and not allowing others' insecurities around you or that they try to put on you to stop you from what it is that you not only worked for but desire.
Yeah.
Someone else's desires from an insecurity standpoint, it really ain't worth your time. Don't let folks make you feel bad for what you've worked for what you want out of life. So, I mean, honestly, too, Aaron definitely has helped me with things of that nature.
Yeah, just pushing you out
enjoying where we are now.
Yeah.
And also kind of just being encouraged to know that, you know, sometimes everything is not going to look like how you, I guess, imagine it. And it kind of always takes me back to, you know, when, you know, before we got married, I said that I would have $100,000 saved up. I said that I would live on my own, and I said that I would be married by 30. None of those things happened.
Scratch.
This is how good God is, though.
Yeah.
I said I only had like 85 grand. I used that,
really good.
and it was good. Yeah, I was close. I definitely wasn't 30 when I got married. I was 27, and I never lived on my home. I literally left my parents' home, and we built this house.
Yeah.
I ain't never thought I was going to build a home. That wasn't even a thought. So that's one blessing. I had more than 100 grand the moment I proposed.
Yeah.
Like everything just kind of went crazy.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm 30 now, like literally this year,
Exactly.
like a couple months ago, I just turned 30. So like even what you picture, sometimes you might block your blessing because of what you think something is supposed to look like.
Exactly.
And I try to always remember that.
Yeah, I agree. And we just, in our church, like he just preached about fulfillment of time.
I took notes. Let me look at my notes.
Wait, what was it?
The
fullness of time. Yeah, and
God's timing. God's timing is not the time that we look at. It's the timing that is when things are ready.
Exactly.
So when it's ready for you, you will get your blessing.
Yeah.
It's not, oh man, it's supposed to be today. No, that's your timing. His time is based on when everything is ready.
Everything is ready. So yeah, hopefully you're encouraged to just go after whatever
it is you want.
Yeah.
Don't know. I do care about what you want, but I want you to care about what you want. And, I hope you guys enjoy this particular conversation on what success is to us, what it looks like, knowing that it's not just the financial.
It's not so far out. Like it's
not.
There.
It's
you
can touch it.
It's a depth perception thing. Like you feel like it's so far, but it's not as far as you think.
Yeah.
It's further once you if you don't ever take the action. So you guys, please make sure you follow us on Sips of Success Podcast on Instagram. We'll post pictures of our granddaddies. Yeah. And the recipe for the sidecar, we'll have that on there too.
Yep. So we got us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
And leave us a review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts so we can start
engage in the
ranking.
post.
Yeah.
But if you rock with me, then you rock with us. I hope you enjoy it. We'll see you next time.
Bye.